This is the esoteric kingmaker elixir, a cousin to the world-famous esoteric eggnog elixir. It's easier to make, has fewer ingredients, and it's just as nutritious. This drink will help you recover from your workouts unlike anything else. If you're looking to gain muscle or build strength, there's really nothing like this. It tastes like summer. It tastes like sunshine and rainbows. It tastes like mango and honey. This is truly the drink of the gods and kings. So for the esoteric kingmaker elixir, what ingredients do we need? We need milk, we need yogurt, we need mango chunks, honey, eggs. So it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 ingredients. In order to have a top 1% nutrition plan, all you need to do is create or learn 7 recipes total and just rotate them. You don't even need to learn 7 at the same time. You just need to collect them like you collect Pokemon cards or something. And I believe that this recipe can be one of your standard 7. Every man needs to have a standard 7 recipes that he is a god at. Every man will find himself at some point having the opportunity to show off his cooking skills. If you've spent months and years perfecting your standard 7, you can appear like a pro without necessarily being one. First, you need milk. Preferably, you can get milk low temperature pasteurized or even raw. Milk, in my opinion, is the king of all drinks. It is the perfect blend of protein and fats. It is one of the primary reasons of the success of certain tribes. If I can get it in a glass bottle, I would, but in Hawaii, it's just not possible, and so I get the plastic one. However, this is not just BPA free, but it's also BPA F and S free. Pretty good. Second, I'm making sure that the milk is from cows that were not given RBST. RBST is recombinant bovine somatotropin. It's essentially growth hormone for cows. They use this because it upregulates the cow's milk production. But there's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off. RBST also downregulates immunity. So you need more antibiotics. If you look at milk cartons or even milk products, you'll find a strange paragraph. It'll say something like, the FDA doesn't find a difference between RBST milk and non-RBST milk. This is actually a result of one of the most interesting legal cases involving, of course, the infamous Monsanto Corporation. So Monsanto actually went to war with small farmers who were labeling their milk as RBST free. They basically, their case was that if farms brand their milk as RBST free, then they were implying that Monsanto's RBST milk was somehow inferior. So they were able to go through the legal system and make the case that if a farm was to claim RBST free, they also had to say that the FDA does not find a difference between RBST milk and non-RBST milk. Me, personally, I'm just going to go with the non-RBST milk, regardless of what Monsanto's position on this matter is. But coming back to milk, why is it important to get grass-fed? This is because cows' digestive systems are not built for grain feeding. If you feed them with grain, the rumen becomes more acidic, and thanks to natural selection, the E. coli in that rumen becomes acid resistant. Usually, our stomach acids are strong enough to destroy most E. coli strains, but it cannot handle the acid-resistant version of E. coli. So again, the risk of infection increases, which means that the companies need to add more antibiotics to the animals. Finally, I'm looking for A2 versus A1 milk. A2 milk is preferable because it contains a higher concentration of CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. And also A2 milk is just overall more digestible for most people. Second ingredient, we want some high quality yogurt, just plain yogurt. Just as high quality milk stands head and shoulder above regular milk, high quality yogurt stands above regular yogurt. A brand like Faye contains twice the amount of protein per serving as does a brand like Danone. But besides this, some brands add fillers and additives. If you see in the labeling, if you see milk protein concentrate, so MPC, milk protein concentrate, if you find that ingredient in your yogurt, then your yogurt is likely trash. And I always aim for the higher fat percentage because fat is a feature, not a bug. And if I'm going to pay for this product, I might as well get all the nutrition benefits of this. Third, we're looking for the pasture-raised eggs. When it comes to eggs, the labeling is crazy. There's so many different labels, and some of them don't mean anything, and some of them are actually useful to look for. What should you look for? Look for certified humane, the label for certified humane. It means it's been third-party verified. And then what does that mean? It means that these chickens spend more time outdoors, which means that they synthesize more vitamin D, which they can concentrate into their eggs. So happy hens lay better eggs. Fourth, we're looking for raw honey, especially if you can find raw, unfiltered, or even unheated honey. That would be the best. Pasteurized honey loses its enzymes and its antioxidant benefits. But here's the main thing. If the ingredients of your honey contains dextrose, sugar, syrup, or anything other than honey, it's not honey. Fifth and final ingredient is the frozen mango chunks. Mango is the king of all fruits, the star ingredient of this recipe. When people talk about nutritious fruits, they often are talking about like blueberries or kiwis, oranges, sometimes dates, but mango is really not mentioned. But the truth is, mango is actually pretty great. It's better than apples at almost everything. But besides, mangoes just taste amazing, and so forms the cornerstone of the Kingmaker elixir. Once we have these ingredients, now all we're doing is combining them in equal parts. So the three main ingredients for the recipe is the chunks, the yogurt, and the milk. So just one part of each, plus one egg, plus 2 tablespoons of honey. So first what I'm going to do is take a handful of mangoes, drop them in there, and I'm going for an approximately 200 ml. Then I add in 200 ml of the milk. Then I will add in 200 ml of the yogurt. Boys, I know you haven't tasted this yet, but this is genuinely one of the best recipes I know. Highly, highly recommend trying it out. The egg, one of you actually taught me this. The easiest and the correct way to break an egg is not by hitting it against the edge of something, and it is not by taking a spoon and whacking it. That's the wrong way to crack an egg. How you actually do it is find a flat surface like this glass top and one crack and open it up. And the reason for this is this way you minimize any contact of the egg whites with the shell of the actual egg. In so doing, you reduce the chance of any kind of infection or illness, because it's oftentimes the egg shell, the outside of the egg shell, which contains the germs. So yes, I know raw eggs might make you sick, whatever. I've been having raw eggs for a long time. I'm okay with the risk. Not saying that you should be okay with the risk, but I am. If you want a full deep dive into the risks and rewards of raw eggs, I actually have a video on that exact topic, which I will be sure to add to the description below. So what do we have now? We have the yogurt, we have milk, we have egg, we have mangoes, we need the honey. This is the highly esoteric approved Indo-European honey from Turkey, actually. Turkey is actually a source of really high quality honey. But coming to the recipe, I'm just eyeballing about 2 tablespoons of this, being pretty generous because I am, right now, my priority with diet is just increase muscle mass, increase strength, because I had that surgery back in November of last year. Leading up to the surgery, I was extremely weak, which is why I had the surgery in the first place. And then after the surgery, there's a long post-operative period where I couldn't really lift weights or anything. So honestly, the entire year of 2024 was rough from a physique standpoint. Just lost a lot of strength, lost a lot of muscle. But hey, that's where the Kingmaker elixir comes in. This will basically rebuild me. And I'll show you some pictures of my progress in the past, what is it? Right now it's February, right? So 4 or 5 months, if that, not even, right? Just made a massive amount of progress in the gym, boys, just through nutrition like this. So I strongly recommend giving it a shot. I almost forgot to talk about this one thing. Hold up. So this is an interesting ingredient. It's colostrum. Now, it's a very hyped ingredient. So let's discuss this. Here's the deal with this. We have some initial studies showing colostrum to be a superfood. It contains the antibodies IgG and IgA. It destroys infections, basically. And it even contains the IGF-1 and IGF-2, which are essentially growth factors. Some are saying that by consuming colostrum as a supplement, you can maximize your height. Is there any truth to this? Or is it just marketing? Well, if you have the money to spend, yeah, you can go and try it out. It's not that it's a bad supplement, it's just very low leverage for the price you pay. You can get much better value for your money with just something like hard cheese. The main benefit of colostrum is that it improves the taste and texture of this Kingmaker elixir. which is why I have it. But once this canister is done, I probably wouldn't repurchase it. See, the thing is, you don't need these esoteric supplements, as it were. You don't need colostrum. You don't need shilajit. You don't need any of this stuff. You just need to be good at the fundamentals. In fact, one of the first things I do in my cohorts is I ask people what supplements they take and just slash them. Because you don't need that. These are all distractions. All these weird supplements that people are taking nowadays, spending lots and lots of money on, are just distractions. Just focus on a solid whole foods diet, and that's 99% of the work. Once you have 99% of nutrition solved, you're already consistent, you're already making progress. Then if you have money to spend and you're like, okay, what supplements can I try? Then yeah, go for the Tonkat Ali, go for the Fagodia agrestis, go for all the Huberman subs. The truth is, you're not Huberman. Huberman has already dialed in everything to an autistic level, and then he has some small benefits from these supplements. Unless you're Huberman in terms of your health optimization, you just are wasting your money. That money and the bandwidth, like the mental bandwidth, are much better spent elsewhere. For example, like this tub of colostrum, right? I think costs $60. And I'll tell you right now that this Ninja Creamy blender, right? I'm just going to show this to the camera, is also around $60, maybe 70. And this is just much higher leverage. Like getting a high quality blender is way better use of your money than a colostrum supplement is going to be. So I'm not against spending money on health, far from it. My internal guideline is actually to go broke investing in myself. All I'm saying is I want to make sure that my investments go towards things that actually make a big impact. So if you have $60 to invest in health, get a good blender. Don't get colostrum. So now let's go blend this bad boy up and see how it tastes. All right, it's blended. It's time for the legendary taste test. So let's go ahead, get ourselves a glass. All right, now here is a true esoteric tier ingredient. It is saffron. So how many do you need? Just need like that many. Ah, perfect. So how does it taste? It tastes like something fit for a king. It's so rich and creamy and sweet, but it also has a subtle tang from the yogurt. So it's not so sweet that it's cloying. Instead, it's actually quite refreshing. The hint of honey just takes this and elevates this to a divine status. And the egg, you can't even really taste the egg. So try it out and comment below your experience with the esoteric kingmaker elixir.